What is going on YouTube? It is FlopFish here, and welcome to the first episode of NHL 14 Tips and Tricks. Today we are going to be covering 3 key items that will definitely help you score more goals and some pretty nice goals in NHL 14. Now I'm going to go ahead and run this goal, and we'll cut back to here and I will break it down and show you guys why it was so effective and why these tips are so important in the game. So let's go ahead and let's run the clip. And first off, you're going to notice that I get the puck with Rimblad and I'm skating it in. And I'm going to find Vermette on the left-hand side, and then Korpikoski is going to be cutting to the left with the left-handed shot. And he's going to one-time it top left corner, and it looks like a very, very nice goal. Now let's cut back into here and into the replay to break it down even further. So first off, what you're going to notice is that as in this situation right here, it is 4-on-4. Now on screen, at this given point in time, we could only see 4 Chicago players and 2 of mine players, meaning that I have 2 players who are completely wide open because, again, Oduya is skating backwards and there's no one on my screen to the right there, meaning there's a huge gap over there and there's no covering. Taze is no threat to the passing lane there. Hjalmarsson is really only covering Vermette at this given moment, and Patrick Kane, well, Patrick Kane's pretty much out of the play after the stop by Rimblad. The other thing to keep in mind is that when I was skating with the puck at center ice here with Rimblad, I could see Korpikoski, my winger, stop around here and be a little bit behind Vermette, which is going to create this nice little difference in spacing between the two, and Vermette's going to have a little bit more speed, which will create a bit of a gap, which is very important for later. However, we'll get back into that in a little bit, and we're going to talk about the stop right here. So the stop right here was very, very key, and the fact that he was controlling Patrick Kane, and he couldn't stop quick enough with Patrick Kane to just go right onto Rimblad, but instead he had to turn to the right. And as he was turning to the right, this is where the opponent made a huge mistake, and a very, very common mistake in this game, and he changed his player to his defenseman. Although you don't have control over what player you change it to, anytime you are changing your position after doing a harsh turn, it can create some seriously awkward momentum, and it's something you really have to pick up on if you're going to score some pretty nice goals in this game. So let's go ahead and let's see how this plays out a little bit. Now, as you notice right here, as you can see, his momentum's taking him as he's just switched from Kane to Hjalmarsson, his defenseman. Hjalmarsson is now going to be out of the lane. Vermette, who has been cutting up on the diagonal angle this entire time to the left, now has a passing lane right into here. And since pass assist has been turned down, I'm going to be able to pass it along the side here, which is a very nice feature in NHL 14. This play probably wouldn't have worked in NHL 13. But the other thing to keep in mind is that I still have the player on the right wide open. So while I have this lane open, if he's stuck with Hjalmarsson to the left-hand side here, I had this wide open lane to pass the puck to Korpikoski, who still has a huge amount of momentum as Oduya is skating backwards. And he's very easy to walk around, as odds are the opponent would switch to him, and I would be able to generate a very good scoring chance from that. However, with Rimblad right here, we have now isolated Patrick Kane away from the play, and now we've got, since he switched to Hjalmarsson, the defenseman, we've more or less got him removed from the play. The only key thing is making sure this pass goes exactly where we want it to, and that is onto Vermette's stick. So I'm going to pass it right here. Again, you can see the amount this changes, and watch Hjalmarsson. Just watch the position of Hjalmarsson. He goes from in the lane slightly to turning out of the lane. Stick is not in the lane. He has no momentum at all, so he cannot cut back. And that puck is going to find Vermette very, very easily. Although Taze is a little bit faster than Vermette, he is not going to be able to catch up with Vermette because, again, Vermette is very speedy and there is enough of a gap there. Now this is very, very key to keep in mind here, because as the pass goes by Hjalmarsson, 99% of people's reactions here would be to switch to Taze. Now he's still going to the right, which creates another huge issue as it takes Hjalmarsson's momentum away from going straight on. So as we're going to watch this, he's still going to the right. Again, look at where Hjalmarsson is and his momentum. He's not cutting back yet. He's just starting to switch, so he's switching players and cutting back forwards. But again, as that happens, as he's getting to the right, it creates this huge space right in the middle for Korpikoski. And as we skate down further, he switches to Taze, which again there's not much he can do right here. Realistically, after I got the puck to here, there's nothing I can do. I'm just going to skate the puck in with Vermette right here, and we'll actually switch to an overhead camera angle to show this better. As I get the puck right here, there's going to be a few things I can do. First off, you're going to notice Crawford is still fairly far out in his crease. So as I skate further in, he's going to back up into his crease, which is going to be very, very important in this play. Secondly, you're going to notice that the gap in between Taze and Oduya, his other defenseman, is very, very small. So it's not a smart idea right now to pass it as the stick is still in the lane. But as I get forward a little bit, Oduya is going to actually turn a little bit to chase Vermette away from the net. So this is going to open up that passing lane, and look how much that passing lane opened. It's very, very small here to all of a sudden being a wide open passing lane. So let's go ahead and let's show it at a different angle right here. There we go. So we're going to show this just this way and just see how important this passing lane is. So again, stick in the way, and all of a sudden now he's switched to Taze, which means Taze's stick won't be in the lane, and Oduya's also chasing, meaning Oduya's stick is no longer in the lane. So as he turns fully, we now have this wide open passing lane here, which is very, very important. And again, watch Crawford's positioning on this play. He's going to start off high, and as Vermette gets closer to the net, he's going to back up in front of the net. And right about here is about the latest that I could pass it, as any further Oduya is going to get in the way, and any later Oduya is going to get in the way, and any earlier, again, I wouldn't have the right cut. But let's go ahead and let's track Korpikoski. So as Korpikoski's coming in a little bit, and I see him coming in on the right hand side, he's a left-handed shot, which I can see on my screen, and he's coming in on an angle towards the net like this. So with Crawford deep in his net now, and with the pass coming across and Korpikoski going to the left, it's going to create a huge gap on the left side of the net right here to shoot at, and allows for a very easy goal. So let's go ahead and let's watch it. And right here you can see pass comes in, and you can already see Crawford start to move. He's already sliding to the right. All his momentum is gone to the right now. As Korpikoski is taking the shot, he doesn't look too far out of position, but he's still sliding to the right as the pass comes in. And you look where the shot is, and you look at where he is now. The shot's almost by him before he can react, and he's too far to the right to even come close to making the save. So that puck is a very, very easy goal here, and it is a very, very nice goal. And we'll switch everything to overhead, but look at how much of the net I had to shoot at there. That is a wide open net, if I do say so myself. You're going to score 9 times out of 10 in that situation, which again makes it a very effective goal. But let's switch it to the overhead angle again, just to see it from this perspective again. So first off, a few things I recognize right here. One, Patrick Kane is completely gone in this play. He has no relevance in the play. Two, although I could not see Korpikoski at my screen all the time, I knew he was somewhere over there and completely unmarked, which means that if he stayed on Kane, I still had that pass over there. But since he switched to Hjalmarsson while skating right with Kane, I noticed that that's going to completely change his momentum. And again, momentum is so key in this game that it will allow the passing lane for Vermette to open up as he is skating to an angle. But as you can see right here again, this passing lane to Korpikoski is still wide open. So again, if he stayed effectively in the lane with Hjalmarsson, I could easily pass it off to Korpikoski and again get another good scoring chance. And since it is 4-on-4, I do not need to worry about that 5th guy. But the pass comes through to Vermette, and again, right here, he's pretty much done. At this point in time, there's really not much he can do here, other than maybe switch to Oduya, which again, in order to switch back to the last player, you have to hold R2. So that's really the only thing he could have done differently here. But even then, he'd still be out of momentum. And again, using his momentum from Hjalmarsson, still skating to the right, it allows for more of a gap to be created. As you can see, Hjalmarsson actually skates further out to the right before he starts to skate in and switch to Taze. But at this point, Taze is already behind Vermette, and now we have this huge gap in the center with Korpikoski cutting over to the left-hand side. It's going to leave him wide open for a shot, and it's going to lead to a very nice goal. Let's go ahead and let's watch this again. And again, it's just a very simple little play, but all it comes down to is just recognizing the situation. Again, knowing it's 4-on-4. Recognizing what player he switched to and his momentum, and then recognizing the gap and where my players are. And again, just a nice simple play. It looks really, really nice. It's very, very effective, and you're gonna have a ton of fun scoring goals like this, as opposed to just scoring a regular slap shot goal. And again, these are a lot more effective in the game. Anyways, guys, that has been NHL 14 Tips and Tricks, episode number 1. Hopefully this helps you out in any way, shape, or form. But as always, take it easy and peace out.